So you want more leads. You've tried content, you've tried ads, but in the back of your mind, you keep hearing it. Cold email still works. It's fast, it scales, and you don't need a marketing team to do it. So you fire up a random sequencer, write your best pitch, load up your contacts, and hit the send button. But you're confused when reply rates stay below 1% and bounce rates are always above 5%. And then it hits you. Your cold emails aren't being ignored. They're being buried deep in spam folders, flagged by inboxes before a single human ever sees them. As easy as cold email may seem, it requires infrastructure. It's a strategic blind spot that almost every founder, RevOps leader, and sales team runs into at some point. And it used to keep me up at night. Because when I first started cold email, I thought the hard part was the copy. I spent hours on it, wordsmithing the perfect message, but none of that mattered because the emails weren't even landing in their primary inbox. That hit me hard, and it completely changed the way I think about outbound sales. I'm Bob, founder at RevSync, and we help B2B startups fix their outbound engine by building omni-channel outreach, and email is our primary source of leads. Not just better copy, not just more tools, but infrastructure that turns cold email into consistent revenue driver. And I'm telling you this because I know exactly what it feels like to have the right product, the right message, and the right intent, but still get ignored. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through why most cold emails land in spam, how to diagnose it, and how to fix it with a scalable system. I'll also show you what we do differently for clients that turns that silence into deal flow, even in saturated markets. Now, if you're wondering how efficient your current GTM tech stack is, I made a custom GPT that will give you a free custom analysis on how your setup is compared to the best ones we use for our clients. I've dropped a link below where you can access it directly. Now let's start with the part no one talks about. The invisible blacklist your domain is probably already on. You see, cold email doesn't fail because of copy, it fails because of deliverability. The average person thinks their email doesn't bounce. It got delivered, but that's not true. There are layers of filtering happening in the background. Domain reputation, engagement history, spam triggers, ESP, and if you don't manage those properly, your emails might technically get delivered, but still land in spam or promotions inbox. That's what I call ghost delivery, and it's deadly. I used to send from my primary domain. It was fast, simple, and it was what every online form told me to do. But over time, reply rates started dropping, and not just a little. We were talking 1% to 0.2% in 2 weeks. I thought it was a list, maybe the copy, but then I ran a Warmy deliverability test and realized 90% of my emails were going to spam. My domain was fried. And because it was my primary one, we weren't even ranking on Google. And I can't even send my clients emails. So here's what I do now and what we've implemented for every client. We buy age domains, configured SPF, DKIM, DMARC properly, and rotate multiple inboxes across different subdomains every 3 months. Why? Because it spreads out the risk. You're no longer relying on one fragile point of failure. If one inbox gets flagged or if one domain gets burnt, others keep going and you can swap them out frequently. Next comes warming. You can't just start sending 100 emails a day from a fresh inbox. That'll burn it right away. So we use AI-based warm-up tools that slowly build credibility over 2 weeks by simulating human-like interactions. The key here isn't just sending warm-ups. It's receiving the replies too. Most founders miss this. They buy a warm-up tool, let it run, and think they're good. But if you're not getting real replies, your sender score doesn't climb fast enough to make a difference. One of our clients, a fintech founder, was sending cold emails to mid-market CFOs. Amazing product, clean list, solid offer, but 0 replies. When we went through their setup, they had one domain, no warm-up, and was sending 300 emails a day with the same message. Spam words are getting flagged left and right, so we rebuilt the system, warmed these inboxes, randomized send times, and added spin tags for copy variation, and started monitoring deliverability with a tool like Warmy or GlockApps. Within 3 weeks, they went from 0.56% reply rate to 2.8% reply rate. That's almost 5xing without touching the offer or the list. Now let's talk about your list. Deliverability isn't just about domains, it's about data quality. Bad emails, catch-alls, low engagement addresses, they hurt your sender score. When I started, I used to scrape lists from Apollo or ZoomInfo and blast them raw. That was a huge mistake. High bounce rates don't just waste time, they actively tank your future deliverability. Now, we verify email through a 3-layer process. Email verification tools, real-time activity signals, and ICP matching. We even use intent data to prioritize accounts that are actually in market. Because if you're emailing people who don't want to hear from you, it doesn't matter how good your system is or how good your copy is. This is one of the most important distinctions I tell all my clients when we start working together. Outbound emailing is not just about sending loads of volume. I made the same mistake when I first started. I thought the problem was that we weren't sending enough volume. So I bought more inboxes, bought more domains, hoping that we could 3x my output by 2xing our volume. The only thing that sending more emails did for me was amplify my current issues. And the same is probably happening for you, whether that's deliverability or bad email copy or burn sending domains. Sending more is only going to burn your budget and burn out your team. That's why a huge part of what we do at RevSync is getting crystal clear about the person we're looking to have real conversations with. Imagine walking into a networking event blindfolded and spraying business cards to every direction, hoping someone picks up and emails you back. That's the shotgun approach to cold email. Blast 10,000 generic messages with the same pitch, zero targeting, and pray something sticks. It's noisy, lazy, and leaves your domain reputation in ruins. Now picture going to that same room with perfect intel. You did your research, you know who the decision makers are, what tech stacks they use, what funding round they just closed, and what pain point they're silently struggling with. You walk up, say one sentence that hits like a tuning fork, and hand over a message crafted just for them. That's the sniper rifle approach. Precision built lists enriched with context, timed perfectly, and delivered with personalized copy that doesn't feel like a template. Now let's talk about the actual content of the email itself. Copywriting is still very important, but not in the way you think. Most founders obsess over clever subject lines or quirky intros, but what really matters is the offer and the spam words you're avoiding. Spam filters analyze your structure, words, links, images, even punctuation too. So too many links, flagged. Misleading subject line, flag. Over-personalized to the point of creepy, they'll probably report your email. So we keep it clean, concise, and contextually relevant. And yes, we test everything. A/B testing copy isn't just about conversation. It's about spam score too. So here's a shift that changes everything. Stop thinking about cold email as a campaign. Start thinking about it as a system. Campaigns are linear. Systems are adaptive. When we build cold email engines for clients, we're not just creating one-off sentences. We're integrating CRM enrichment, predictive scoring, multi-channel triggers, and real-time behavioral tracking. So if someone clicks but doesn't reply, they get a LinkedIn DM. If they bounce, they're removed. If they reply, they're routed to a sales rep with full context. That level of intelligence is what turns cold email from a gamble into a growth channel. But let's get deeper, because it isn't about strategy. It's about pain. What kept me up at night wasn't the technical stuff. It was the feeling of doing everything right, but still getting nothing back. Writing emails, chasing leads, wasting weeks, and wondering if the problem was me. That kind of silence breeds doubt, and it makes you question your offer, your product, your team, and your self-doubt is a killer. That's why fixing deliverability isn't just tactical, it's emotional. When emails land, confidence returns. When replies come in, momentum builds. And when meetings are booked consistently, you stop chasing leads and start choosing them. That transformation is real. I've lived it. I've helped founders live it too. And I want you to experience it as well. So let's recap. With a transformation story, that could be you. Before you're sending cold emails from your main domain, no warm-up, no monitoring, bad data, no replies, you're invisible. After, you're using a warmed, monitored, diversified infrastructure. Your copy's tested, your data is clean, your CRM talks to your email system, and your pipeline is finally predictable. That's the difference between guessing and growing. If this resonated with you and you're tired of throwing emails into the void, we should talk. Not because I want to sell you something, but because I've been where you are and know what it feels like to break through. At RevSync, we build the systems that make cold email work again. Customized, tested, and proven. If you want us to look under the hood of what your cold email engine is and show you exactly how to fix it, book a call. And we'll show you the gaps, the fixes, and the fast wins. And you'll walk away with clarity, whether you work with us or not. Because once your emails start landing, everything changes. And that future can start now.